What's going on, everybody? I am Stock Sniper Mike, and we are back again with another weekly Watchers Watch List. Happy 4th of July and happy Independence Day. I hope all of you guys enjoyed time with your family, friends, eating barbecue, shooting fireworks. Hopefully all your hands and fingers are still here because we need you tagging bags in the market to start the new week. Now, it is a holiday week and we did have Monday off for 4th of July. So typically on the shorter holiday weeks, the volume is a little bit lighter, and when volume tends to be lighter, we're not the biggest fans of going after stuff unless we are in love with it. So try to stay patient this week. Remember, patience pays in this game, and let's see if one of these plays could line up for us in the upcoming 4 days. For those of you guys that don't know where to find this weekly watchers list, it's available on the Stock Snipers app. You could find it in our app under the find our app on the App Store or Google Play under Stock Snipers. Or you can join us on our website at www.thestocksnipers.com. Today, I'm going to bring you into the app. When you jump into the app, you want to make sure you log in there. And when you get logged in, you'll have everything we have to offer on that all page. But today, we're looking at that watch list. And at the top of the watch list tab, you'll always see every Sunday afternoon the weekly watchers list. The guy with the binoculars looking out for hot stocks for the upcoming week. When you click on it, you'll see the list of stocks that we're eyeing down, as well as the sniper pattern right next to it. Now, there's been tons of different opportunities out there in the market with OTC stocks, listed stocks, and even low float stocks. So different types of plays out there, and we usually like to list them at the top here. But OTCs will always be number one in the Stock Snipers panel because that's where we've made most of our money. Of July now, it's crazy. We're already halfway through the market. So we always like to put a little highlight at the top. Last month closed off half year in the market. 6 months down, and it was actually the worst 6 months in 50 plus years since 1970. So very, very bloody the overall market got, and the snipers still did well, staying green for our 13th straight month last month. Now forget the boring stuff, let's dive into the money. And the first one we're going to go over is one we are eyeing down on Thursday to possibly break multi-month highs, and it did there, breaking above 70 cents, and then now we're looking at 52-week highs up ahead. 869 is that spot, so next week if we get above 80 cents, we're going to be looking for a day that could push back above 869 52-week high breakout. The next one is OTC penny stock WSFT. This is actually a fairly new OTC penny stock, not even a year old here, only a couple months old. It broke out all-time highs a couple weeks back of 549, and now it's hanging out below 50 cents to close out the week. This next week, we're looking for the pop above 50 cents and then that breakout of that 5.4 area and pushing all the way up into the 60s is what we'll be looking for in WSFT next week. Sub pennies have been on fire in the past couple of weeks. If you don't know, you can invest in a stock that's less than a penny, and that's what a sub penny is. For a great example, this one right here, GCLT, getting a spike all the way from 006 all the way up to 349 in 2 days. Now we do like to see that multiple day run up, so hopefully we can get 1 or 2 more green days, and then we could finally get the panic dip buy opportunity like we had 2 weeks ago in the OTC sub penny Htgm. So very similar move we're looking for in this one. NLST is a higher price OTC stock that we're eyeing down for a panic dip buy. Last week it made new 52-week lows coming down to the 250s, and $2.10, $2 is that long-term support area. If we can get one more crack, we're going to be able to see that panic we're looking for and a possible panic dip buy down in the $2 area. This next one is an OTC stock, but surprisingly, it's a larger Asian franchise out in Asia actually, Lucan Coffee. So almost like a Starbucks, LKNCY. Got delisted from the listed market a couple years back because all their financing that they were going through. Now is still trading on the OTC stock as a $12 stock. Last week it broke $13.15, 3-month highs, and $13.25 is multi-month highs. So we're going to be looking for it to get back above 13 this upcoming week, and the day it does that, we'll be looking to possibly play that breakout of $13.50 and $13.28. Now time to dive into some more of those sub pennies that I was just telling you about. A couple of these that we're going to go over are ones that recently ran in the past week or two and now have been consolidating, looking to possibly make another run if they could spike back up. That first one is BMIX, going from a sub penny all the way up to 144. So very nice spike in the past month. And now it's consolidating between 0095 and 012. The volume completely lightened up, and that's not a good thing, but if it does have a day that we get better volume, we're looking for the push above 12, and that's a place where we can all make some money on. The next sub penny is Krfg, and that's another one that got a very nice push. This one did not break to a penny stock yet, but it did go from 0026 to 005, doubling itself in a day, or 2 days technically. Now it's consolidating for the past week, and we're going to be looking for a push back above 0046. If we get that push above 0046, we do think we're going to be able to get the volume push above 0051 multi-month highs. The last sub penny we got on the list here is Ppcv, and they're famous for coming out news and getting a nice spike. That's what happened last week, and we'll be looking for that in the upcoming week. It has consolidated, but the days have been a little wide here, so we do want to see it come back above 0056 for us to be interested in taking advantage of this sub penny play. The next two plays were big runners last week, and then they completely calmed down, coming back down after not getting volume that they were the day they spiked. We're going to be looking for the volume to come back in the next week here, and if that does happen, we do think these are able to spike again like they did last week. The first one's a Bitcoin related stock, AABB, got a very nice spike after coming out with news, going from 006 to 009, so about 50% spike there, and now coming back down to 0067. It's been trading between 0067 and 0075 the past 3 days, and now we're going to see if we can get above that spot. Those two key spots are ranges we'll be keeping an eye on in the upcoming week. And then the next one is the big runner that most of you guys saw last week, because they pumped out 5 news articles with different celebrities pretty much. It started with Rob Gronkowski getting a crazy spike from 0022 all the way to 0219, so almost 1,000% on your money in one day after the news went wrong. Then we get the spike all the way back down after coming out with news with a female actress, Lana Rhoades. So we got 2 different people. Then the next day we get another spike after it comes out with a big partnership news, or supposedly partnership with the big company Target. So now we have 3 different news articles with 3 different partnerships, and the stock is now spiked from 002 to 0219, back to 004, now from 004 back to 135, and then last but not least, it finally comes out with news with Dutch Coffee Bros and Ireland Baldwin, and finally cools off. Tons of news articles. You can tell this company is due for pumping and dumping. They're good at what they're doing. As you can see, they were able to spike 1,000% in a day. So we do think that there's a possibility of another article coming out soon and another possible wave of buyers and volume in CMGR. So keep an eye on the Clubhouse app. That's what it is. That's actually the stock, the Clubhouse app. I don't know if you guys remember, but Putin and Elon Musk were actually supposed to have a meeting on COVID on this app when it was booming during COVID, and now it's all the way a sub penny stock, pretty much enough. Now we'll dive into the listed category, the listed low float movers, the penny stocks, the ones that are able to run, that can really get you a nice return, 20 to 30% in one day, and that's what we look for as a sniper. The first one is the one we took over the weekend, and this is an EV related listed stock that we've actually made money off of 3 times. So we are 3 for 3 on this stock in the past, looking to go 4 for 4 and hit that grand slam. MULN, they're supposedly going to come out with an EV car or a line of cars just like Tesla, but they're just an idea right now, and they do have great ideas and they do have great models, but they're not a legit company as in coming out with product just yet. They did create 7 straight red days and look like a first green day was possibly going to create on Friday. Now that first green day was only to 6 to 7% green day, and that's not the best looking green day. So we did buy it at the end of the day at 106, but our red flag is up for the upcoming week. We do want to see it spike back above 110 if we're going to hold on to this. If it comes back down to $1, we'll be using that spot as our cut. The next listed one is one that we've been eyeing down for a little bit now after it spiked 3 weeks ago. SESN is a listed penny stock that spiked all the way up from the 70-cent area to 95, and now it's been trading in a range between 77 and 95. We're looking for the day can finally pass above 90 cents. 90 cents is on a tough resistance, 88 and 90. And once it can get back above 88 and 90 cents, we think it'll finally be able to get the legs to push back above 95 cents. Paying attention to volume though is key, and you do want more than average volume to come in on the days that these are spiking, so then you can be a part of that wave and not just a quick spike and come right back down. The last two listed runners that we were keeping an eye on that ran recently is Sidu. It got a crazy run from the 1s all the way up to the 9s in 2 days, and now it's coming back down to $3 in 10 straight downward days. 250 is the area that it started that big pop when it first gapped up, and if it comes back down to that area next week, we'll be looking for the first green day here and a possible push back to the 4s in Sidu. And the last listed one is Htgm. And Htgm is a nice looking one just like Sidu that got a big spike. This one going from penny stock past the dollar spot and then holding that dollar spot the past 3 days. Now we're looking for it to continue to hold the dollar and then push back above 115, 120. If it's able to get back above that, and with nice volume, like we were saying before, we do think it's going to be able to push back above 133 and break back out multi-month high. And last but certainly not least are the larger listed stocks. And with the larger listed stocks, we're eyeing these down because a lot of them are showing great opportunity with how ugly the overall market's getting. We've been getting bloody and bloody and bloody month by month. It's 4 straight weeks of red weeks now in the market for the month of June. So an ugly month of June, and like I said before, the worst 6-month start in 50 years in the stock market. So very ugly stuff is happening, but if you're patient and you don't have your money tied up, there is a lot of opportunity out there in the larger listed stock. We're going to be eyeing down these 4 larger listed stocks to make a possible move, and we'll most likely be playing the option chain if we do like one of these plays in the upcoming week. The first one is AMD, and AMD is a famous stock because it was that COVID spiker, and now it's coming all the way back down, all the way from the 150s, now closing at $72.69 last week, and $70 is the long-term support. Next week, if it comes to $70, we're looking for that bounce and possible first green day move on AMD. 5 straight red days has just happened there, and we do think it's due to create that first green day. The next one, Nvidia, is a very similar cloud space company, memory chip kind of company, just like AMD. So Nvidia doing a similar move, 5 straight red days, making 52-week lows, coming down to a long-term support area of 140. It closed right around that spot at 145, so if it comes down to 140 next week, we'll be looking to play it. And the option chain that we'll be looking for is right between 155 and 160 with this week or next week's expiration. Both Nvidia and AMD will most likely make the same kind of move, so we'll be looking for them both, seeing which one gives us a better opportunity in the next week. Everybody knows about this next stock. It's the EV sector leader, Tesla. Tesla has been on a crazy run, going above 1,000 and now coming all the way back down to $600. 620 is actually the long-term support area, and if it does come back down there in the upcoming week, we're going to be looking for that curl and first green day move with the option chain eyeing down the $750 or $800 strike price for this week or next week's expiration, most likely next week with the shorter week that we have this week. And last but certainly not least is the listed cannabis sector leader. And I have to add the cannabis sector leader in here because it did make some more noise 2 weeks ago, and now this week it looks like we're going to try to get that Bank Care Act back up so the cannabis companies could try to finally work with the banks out there. Right now, all cannabis companies that are operating have to do cash only and can't operate with the federal big banks out there. This bill that they're trying to actually pass will finally release that and let these banks work with cannabis companies that are bringing in tons of revenue and tons of cash. So it'll work out for most likely both sides of the story. Now I bring up that to bring up TLRY, because if that does get some news, most likely we're going to see some hype going on in TLRY, and if TLRY could spike back above 350 and back above 380, we do think we're finally going to be able to see a short squeeze in the cannabis sector that is long overdue. And if that happens, be on the lookout for these cannabis OTC stocks below, because we do think these will be the sector leaders once they do become listed stocks. TCNNF, GTBIF, CRLBF, PLNHF, MMNFF, and then MJNA for the last two penny stocks. That is the cannabis stock sector leaders there. Don't pay attention to them if nothing is going on. I just brought that up if we do get some momentum in that sector in the upcoming week. Hopefully you guys can make some money. If not, add all these stocks to a watch list. Keep continuing to grow your watch list. Even if you're not paying attention to them this week, they might pop up and give you something interesting in the upcoming weeks. We really don't want you to just buy and sell all the stocks we just brought up to you. The goal is for you to send alerts for all of them and be ready when the moment does come. And that's the point of being a sniper and being prepared at all times. If you'd like to join us, like we said earlier, we'd love to have you on the team. We got a group of people all on the same goal of getting rich together and trying to consistently profit in the stock market. It's been ugly the past 6 months, like we were saying before, the ugliest in 50 years for the overall market, but the snipers have been able to profit 24 out of 26 of the first half of the year. So still doing a great job even though the markets have been ugly. Hope to see you on the team soon, and if not, hopefully you guys can grab a bag off of one of these plays. I'll be back here next Tag a Bag Tuesday with another weekly watchers list. Stock Sniper Mike, out.